Kal-Halal, Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahushai, Bahasham, Rakal Barakatha Yahweh, Barakatha Yahushai, Shalom. Double honors to the elders of Judah, my great millstone, Shalom. Daniel chapter 7, verse 1. In the first year of Belshazzar, king of Babylon, Daniel had a dream and visions of his head upon his bed. Then he wrote the dream and told the sum of the matters. Daniel spake and said, I saw in my vision by night, and behold, the four winds of the heaven strove upon the great sea, and four beasts came up from the sea, diverse one from another. Now, who are those beasts? You skip down. These great beasts, which are four kings, which shall arise out of the earth. The end of the 17. So, the first was like a lion, it had eagle's wings. The Assyrian Empire, upheld till the wings were plucked up. The wings were plucked up with the Babylonian Empire. And it was lifted up from the earth, this is the Babylonian Empire, and made stand upon the feet as a man. This is, it made stand upon the feet as a man, and the man's heart was given to it. That is, Nebuchadnezzar. Babylon Empire absorbed the Assyrian Empire. And behold, another beast, a second like to a bear, and it raised up itself on one side, and it had three ribs in the mouth of it, between the teeth of it, and they said thus unto it, Arise, devour much flesh. The second beast is the Medo-Persian Empire. The Medes came first, but when the Persians came, they were more exalted than the Medes, you see here, and it raised up itself on one side. The Medes came first, but when the Persian Empire came, they were more exalted. And it had three ribs in the mouth of it, between the teeth of it. They came from the east, conquered towards the north, the west, and the south. Three different regions you see here. Three ribs in the mouth of it, between the teeth of it. And they said unto it, Arise, devour much flesh. The Medo-Persian Empire conquered many regions, devour much flesh. You see that in verse 5, Arise, devour much flesh. And the three ribs, there's three different regions. And between the teeth of it, three different regions came from the east, conquered towards the north, the west, and the south. After this I behold, and lo, another like a leopard, which had upon the back of it four wings of a fowl. The beast had also four heads, and dominion was given to it. So the other was the Greek Empire, Alexander the Great, which had upon the back of it four wings of a fowl. Those four wings are the four generals of Alexander the Great that his kingdom was divided amongst when he died at the age of 33. Alexander the Great died at the age of 33. And those four wings are the Diadochi, which is the four generals which the Greek Empire, Alexander the Great, his empire was split between. Those four generals are Ptolemy, Seleucus, Antigonus, Cassander. Alright, if I'm pronouncing their names right. So, Antigonus, if I'm pronouncing it right, Cassander, Ptolemy, and Seleucus. If I got their names right, which are known as the Diadochi. When Alexander the Great died, his kingdom was split between those four. Those are the four wings, the four heads. Yeah, he died at 33. You could also read about this in the book of First Maccabees as well. First Maccabees, chapter 1, verse 1. And it happened after that Alexander, son of Philip, the Macedonian, who came out of the land of Chittim, had smitten Darius, king of the Persians and Medes. Wow. The second beast was the Medo-Persian Empire. Who came after that? The leopard, which is the Greek Empire. That he reigned in his stead the first over Greece, and made many wars, and won many strongholds, and slew the kings of the earth, and went through to the ends of the earth, and took spoils of many nations, insomuch that the earth was quiet before him, whereupon he was exalted, and his heart was lifted up. Feel free to go even deeper into history and research to see different wars and different battles and stuff like that. Like, I'm not giving you the battle tactics Alexander the Great used against the Medo-Persian Empire to take them down and which spots and where. I'm not giving all that detail. Feel free to go on history. Now, to give an example of going deeper into history, the different battle tactics Alexander the Great used in different battles. If you want. And he gathered a mighty strong host and ruled over countries and nations and kings who became tributaries unto him. Also got the Medo-Persian Empire, but they did. If you wanted to go on deeper into the history. And after these things he fell sick and perceived that he should die. Wherefore he called his servants, such as were honorable and had been brought up with him from his youth, and parted his kingdom among them while he was yet alive. So Alexander reigned 12 years and then died. And his servants bare rule, every one in his place. And after his death they all put crowns upon themselves, so did their sons after them many years, and evils were multiplied in the earth. Ooh. Alright. Evils are multiplied in the earth. These people is the wicked. Esau is the wicked. Malachi chapter 1 verse 4. Whereas Edom saith, we are impoverished, but we will return and build the desolate places. Thus saith Yahweh of hosts, they shall build, but I will throw down. And they shall call them the border of wickedness, and the people against whom Yahweh hath indignation forever. The border of wickedness, they establish wickedness wherever they go. So evils was to be multiplied in the earth. You see that. These people are the wicked. And what are they going to do? Push wickedness. John chapter 8 verse 44. Ye of your father the devil, and the lust of your father ye will do. He was a murderer from the beginning, and abode not in the truth, because there is no truth in him. When he speaketh a lie, he speaketh of his own, for he is a liar and the father of it. These Edomites, they're the devil, the adversary. Now, John chapter 8 verse 44, red letter words of Yahushua. You see, this was spoken to Israelites. So, wicked Israelites, of course. So, 4 wings, 4 heads, 4 generals. The Adoshi, also known as the Diadoshi in history. After this I saw in the night visions of behold a 4th beast, the Roman Empire, dreadful and terrible and strong exceedingly, and it had great iron teeth. The Romans in their iron in their military, and it had great iron teeth. It devoured and brake in pieces and stamped the residue with the feet of it, and it was diverse from all the beasts that were before it, and it had 10 horns. Now, back then, them 10 horns was the 10 Germanic tribes. Now, this beast was diverse from all the beasts. So, in the ancient world, you had a king, you had a prince. King dies, prince takes over, so on and so forth. But this Roman Empire, they had their own Congress stuff going on. So it was different. If Congress is even the right word I'm using. The Romans had their own Senate. Their Senate stuff they did. It was different. That's one example. Now the 10 horns back then, 10 Germanic tribes, Visigoths, Ostrogoths, Vandals, Lombards, Alemanni, Burgundians, Franks, Jukes, Angles, and Saxons. I considered the horns, and behold, there came up among them another little horn, before whom there were three of the first horns plucked up by the roots. And behold, in this horn were eyes like the eyes of a man, and a mouth speaking great things. And this little horn is who? Medica. Who is those three right here? Three of the first horns plucked up by the roots. That is, those three horns plucked up by the roots are Spanish, British, and French. That little horn is America. Also, these 10 horns right here for today would be European Union, EU. I beheld till the thrones were cast down, and the Ancient of Days did sit. These kingdoms' rulership. I beheld till the thrones were cast down. These kingdoms' rulership. Thrones, you see, to the thrones, the rulerships of these different kingdoms. And the Ancient of Days did sit. Who is the Ancient of Days? The Ancient of Days is the Father Yahweh. It is not the Son Yahweh Shai. The Ancient of Days is the Father Yahweh. The Most High Yahweh is the Ancient of Days, whose garment was white as snow, and the hair of his head like the pure wool. His throne was like the fiery flame, and his wheels as burning fire. If you didn't know, Yahweh Shai looks like his father. John chapter 14, verse 9. Yahweh Shai saith unto him, Have I been so long time with you, and yet hast thou not known me, Philip? Ye that have seen me have seen the Father, and how sayest thou then, Show us the Father? Yahweh Shai looks like his father. Revelation chapter 1, verse 13. And in the midst of the 7 candlesticks, one like unto the Son of Man, who is this? Yahweh Shai, clothed with the garment down to the foot. That ain't no t-shirt. And girt about the paths with the golden girdle. T-shirts they don't go down to the foot. His head and his hairs were like white. Slakia. His head and his hairs were white like wool. If I said it correctly. As white as snow, and his eyes were as a flame of fire. And his feet like unto fine brass, as if they burned in a furnace. Yahweh Shai is a dark-skinned man. Not a man like a human man. And his voice as the sound of many waters. So this is Yahweh Shai. Not that blue hair, blonde hair. Not that blonde hair, blue-eyed devil, Jesus Christ. And the hair of his head like the pure wool. This is referring to the Father Yahweh. So you see, Yahweh Shai looks like his Father Yahweh. Are heavenly. And as we have borne the image of the earthly, we shall also bear the image of the heavenly. Yahweh Shai is heavenly. When he came as himself, Yahweh Shai, he came as a human man. But now, Yahweh Shai is heavenly. You see, the first man is Adam. The second man is Yahweh Shai. Yahweh Shai was Adam in the reincarnation. And for edification, if you're new, Exodus chapter 34, verse 7. Keeping mercy for thousands, forgiving iniquity and transgression and sin, and that will by no means play the guilty, visiting the iniquity of the fathers upon the children, and upon the children's children, unto the third and to the fourth generation. So, visiting the iniquity of the fathers upon the children. But wait, Ezekiel chapter 18, verse 20. The soul that sinneth, it shall die. The son shall not bear the iniquity of the father, Neither shall the father bear the iniquity of the son. The righteousness of the righteous shall be upon him, and the wickedness of the wicked shall be upon him. So the son shall not bear the iniquity of the father. But in Exodus chapter 34, verse 7, visiting the iniquity of the fathers upon the children, which means that so when a person dies, they come back in the third or fourth generation. If there was a man, they're gonna come back as a man. If there was a woman, they come back as a woman. They're gonna come back as no fly. Alright, Daniel chapter 7, verse 9. I beheld till the thrones were cast down, the ancient of days did sit, whose garment was white as snow, and the hair of his head like the pure wool. His throne was like the fiery flame, and his wheels as burning fire. If you didn't know already, the ancient of days is the father Yahweh, not his son Yahweh Shai. And the 10 horns back then was the 10 Germanic tribes. For now, it would be the EU, European Union. In Daniel chapter 7, verses 7. Alright, Daniel chapter 7, verse 10. A fiery stream issued and came forth from before him, thousands minister unto him, and 10,000 times 10,000 stood before him. The judgment was set, and the books were open. Those are the angels. That's a lot of angels.
I got it for you.
Truly, the judgment is set. Esau's judgment is set. The brother said he got a precept here. Hasad Bakayar.
Yeah, Shalom. I want to read this. Psalm 68 and 17. The chariots of the Alahayanim are 20,000, even thousands of angels. The Lord is among them as in Sinai, in the holy place.
It's a lot of angels.
There's a lot of angels.
Esau gonna try and fight all the holy angels with Yahweh Shai.
He's gonna fail.
That's a lost cause. I beheld then because of the voice of the great words which the horn spake. I beheld even till the beast was slain and his body destroyed and given to the burning flame. Burning flame. When the nuclear missiles come and destroy America, that's going to be a burning flame. You know, this war is going to be fought with fire, as the scriptures have talked about. The beast was slain and his body destroyed. That didn't happen to the ancient Roman Empire like that. How it's going to happen now. So he was going to say something.
Yes, brother. Obadiah 1 and 8. Shall I not in that day, saith the Lord, even destroy the wise men out of Edom, and understanding out of the mount of Esau?
God.
So the Lord's going to destroy Edom. It's not that all of whatever Edom has trying to do is going to be destroyed.
Yeah, the way this is going to go out, Esau's kingdom. Isaiah chapter 9, verse 5. For every battle of the warriors with confused noise and garments rolled in blood. You go to war, a lot of noise, everything, garments rolled in blood from the men, the soldiers. But this shall be with burning and fuel of fire. ICBMs, nuclear missiles, are going to bring what? They're going to bring fire. This didn't happen to ancient Rome, how it's going to happen to the reincarnation of the Roman Empire, Rome 2.0. Yahushua is going to come back with all the holy angels. They're going to bring more fire, laser beams. Verse 12. As concerning the rest of the beasts, they had their dominion taken away, yet their lives were prolonged for a season and a time. As for the rest of the kingdoms, the other nations, they're going to go into slavery. They're going to be tributaries in the kingdom of heaven. They're not going to be utterly destroyed like Esau, the nation of Esau, extinct, pursuing to Obadiah chapter 1, verse 18. And each one took down each other, the kingdoms. Obadiah chapter 1, verse 18. In the house of Jacob shall be a fire, in the house of Joseph a flame, and the house of Esau for stubble. And they shall kindle in them and devour them, and there shall not be any remaining of the house of Esau, for Yahweh hath spoken it. So Joseph is Ephraim and Manasseh here, and Jacob is the remaining tribes of the 12 tribes of Israel. The 12 tribes of Israel, as you see on screen. Judah is the so-called Negroes. Benjamin is the so-called West Indians. Levi is the so-called Haitians. That is the southern kingdom of the 12 tribes of Israel. Simeon is the so-called Dominicans. Zebulun is the so-called Guatemalans to Panamanians. Ephraim is the so-called Puerto Ricans. Manasseh is the so-called Cubans. Gad is the so-called North American Indians. Reuben is the so-called Seminole Indians. Naphtali is the so-called the Argentinian to Chileans. Asher is the so-called Colombians to Uruguayans. Issachar is the so-called Mexicans. That is the northern kingdom of the 12 tribes of Israel, because Israel split into the southern and northern kingdom, although Judah is the head tribe of the 12 tribes of Israel. As concerning the rest of the beasts, they had their dominion taken away, yet their lives were prolonged for a season and a time. Each of those kingdoms took down the previous kingdoms. I saw in the night visions, and behold, one like the Son of Man, who is the Son of Man here, Yahushua, came with the clouds of heaven, and came to the Ancient of Days, and they brought him near before him. The Ancient of Days, the Father Yahweh, the clouds of heaven is referring to is what the world calls UFOs or UAPs, chariots. Verse 40, and there was given him dominion and glory and a kingdom that all people and nations and languages should serve him. His dominion is an everlasting dominion which shall not pass away, and his kingdom that which shall not be destroyed. So, she goes, Luke chapter 19, verse 27, red letter words of Yahushua, but those my enemies which would not that I should reign over them, bring hither and slay them before me. When Yahushua comes back, everybody's going to have to serve Yahushua. Yahushua is second in command underneath his father. The only one above Yahushua is his father Yahweh. Now, 2nd Ezra chapter 11, verse 30.
James 5 and 8.
Go ahead, brother.
Yes, James 5 and 8. Be ye also patient. Establish your hearts, for the coming of the Lord draweth nigh. So it's all about here, and we got to be patient. We can't be swift to run here or run there. We got to be led by the Spirit of Yahweh, by Shem Yahushai, because the day of the Lord, the day of Yahushai to come bring deliverance out of this captivity is drawing closer. It's drawing nigh.
Kyle, this race is it's not for the swift. Could you get that, brother?
Okay.
2nd Ezra chapter 11, verse 37. And I beheld, and lo, as it were a roaring lion, the roaring lion, Yahushai, chased out of the wood, and I saw that he sent out a man's voice unto the eagle, and said, Hear thou, I will talk with thee, and the highest shall say unto thee, Art not thou it that remainest of the four beasts whom I made to reign in my world, that the end of their times might come through them? Reign in my world. Yahushua is going to come back and rule the planet Earth. The eagle, the Roman Empire. You got the precept?
Yes, Ecclesiastes 9 and 11. I returned and saw under the sun that the race is not to the swift, nor the battle to the strong, neither yet bread to the wise, nor yet riches to men of understanding, nor yet favor to men of skill, but time and chance happeneth to them all.
The race is not for the swift. And there's one with Apostle Paul. Could you get that one too?
Okay. Hebrews chapter 12, verse 1. Wherefore, seeing we are also compassed about with so great a cloud of witnesses, let us lay aside every weight and the sin which doeth so easily beset us, and let us run with patience the race that is set before us. Verse 2. Looking unto Yahushua, the author and finisher of our faith, who for the joy that was set before him endured the cross, despising the shame, and is set down at the right hand of the throne of the Most High Yahweh. Verse 3. For consider him that endureth such contradiction of sinners against himself, lest ye be wearied and faint in your minds. Verse 4. Ye have not resisted unto blood, striving against sin.
For him that endured such contradiction of sinners against themselves, lest ye be wearied and faint in your minds. So this race is not for the swift. Alright, taking to the 7th verse 15. I Daniel was grieved in my spirit in the midst of my body, and the visions of my head troubled me. I came near unto one of them that stood by, and asked him the truth of all this. So he told me, and made me know the interpretation of the things. These great beasts, which are four kings, which shall arise out of the earth. But the saints of the Most High, in order to be of the saints, have to be of Israel. So these saints right here, Israelites. But the saints of the Most High shall take the kingdom and possess the kingdom forever, even forever and ever. Then I would know the truth of the fourth beast, which was diverse from all the others, exceeding dreadful, whose teeth were of iron, and his nails of brass, which devoured, brake in pieces, and stamped the residue with his feet. Then I would know the truth of the fourth beast, from empire, which was diverse from all the others, exceeding dreadful, whose teeth were of iron, the weapons of iron, for war, for military, and his nails of brass, which devoured, brake in pieces, and stamped the residue with his feet. And Romans took down the Greeks. And of the 10 horns that were in his head, and of the other which came up, and before whom 3 fell, even of that horn that had eyes in the mouth, that spake very great things, whose look was more stout than his fellows. So whose look was more stout than his fellows, that horn is America. America's look is more stout than its fellow European nations. The other 3 that fell was the Spanish, the British, and the French. You know, the 10 horns right here are the European Union. I beheld, and the same horn made war with the saints and prevailed against them. You saw what happened to the Israelites in America. Slavery, Native American Indians, the genocide, they raped the men's wives, the torture, the lynch, etc. It's a long list. Until the ancient of days came, and judgment was given to the saints of the Most High. In order to be of the saints, you have to be of the Israelites, of the Most High, and the time came that the saints possessed the kingdom. Could you get 2nd Ezra chapter 6 verse 9, brother? Thus he said, the fourth beast shall be the fourth kingdom upon earth, which shall be diverse from all kingdoms, and shall devour the whole earth, and shall tread it down and break it in pieces. America has the whole earth, the whole earth now, which is the reincarnation of the Roman Empire, the fourth beast. And the 10 horns out of this kingdom are 10 kings that shall arise, and another shall rise, and another shall rise after them, and he shall be diverse from the first, and he shall subdue 3 kings. You got 2nd Ezra 6, 9, brother?
Yes, 2nd Ezra 6 and 9. For Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth.
So you see here back in verse 22, until the ancient days came, and judgment was given to the saints of the Most High. For Esau, read that again.
Yes, for Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth.
So yeah, end of the world, meaning end of an age. Esau's rulership, his age is over. Next is the age of the kingdom of heaven, the Israelites.
Come.
You know that Planet of the Apes movie, except it's the Israelites. Because we ain't apes. Until the ancient days came, and judgment was given to the saints of the Most High, and the time came that the saints possessed the kingdom. Esau is no longer going to possess the kingdom. It's going to be to the Israelites. Alright, verse 24. And the 10 kings, and the 10 horns out of this kingdom are 10 kings that shall arise, and another shall rise after them, and he shall be diverse from the first, and he shall subdue 3 kings. So the 10 horns back then would be those 10 Germanic tribes. The 10 horns now is the European Union, the EU, and those shall arise after the shall them. Alright, subdue 3 kings. These are the Spanish, the British, and the French. If you didn't know, those 3 had property in America, but America made war against them. In history, if you didn't know. And they're going to the who those 10 Germanic tribes was back then. Or back then would be Visigoths, Ostrogoths, Vandals, Lombards, Alemanni, Burgundians, Franks, Jukes, Angles, and Saxons. Those 10 Germanic tribes. And he shall speak great words against the Most High, and shall wear out the saints of the Most High. You saw how Medika made war against the saints, against the Israelites. Wear out the saints of the Most High. And think to change times and laws, and they shall be given into his hand until the time and times and the dividing of times. This here, until the time and times and dividing of times. The bulk of the slaves for the transatlantic slave trade came to the Americas time period of around 1619. So from 1619 till this right here is from 1619, around that time period till is of a time period of 350 years, which will drop you to 1969 when Elijah came back, known as a man called Abba Bivens. Could you get that precept, brother? I will send you Elijah, Malachi chapter, I don't know, I believe 4 verse 5.
Okay.
So you see that here. Brother got it here.
Malachi 4 and 5. Behold, I will send you Elijah the prophet before the coming of the great and dreadful day of the Lord.
So he came in the reincarnation as a man known as Abba Bivens. And before he came as Abba Bivens, you could read about the scriptures, he was John the Baptist. Could you get that? Alright, so, and think to change times and laws, you see that happen. They love to change times and laws. If you catch them doing that anywhere else today, well, you see it happen. Verse 25. But the judgment shall sit. Esau's judgment is set, no changing it. And they shall take away his dominion to consume and to destroy unto the end. And the kingdom and dominion and the greatness of the kingdom under the whole heaven shall be given to the people of the saints of the Israelites, of the Most High, whose kingdom is an everlasting kingdom, and all dominions shall serve and obey him. You see, Gog and Magog is not going to rise again and take down the Israelites. Hitherto is the end of the matter. As for me, Daniel, my cogitations much troubled me, and my counselors changed in me, but I kept the matter in my heart.
Matthew 11 and 14. And if ye will receive it, this is Elias, which was for to come.
Okay, referring to John the Baptist. Red letter was it Kalashai. Alright. Alright, with that, Shalom.
Kal halal Yahweh Ba'asham Yahushai Ba'asham Rakakadash Barakta Yahweh Barakta Yahushai.
Double honor to the elders of the GMS Great Millstone. Shalom.
Shalom.